Hi, I'm Susan Papanicholas from How Does Your Garden Grow in Seattle. I'm here today with my dog Albert in the Witt Winter Garden at the Washington Park Arboretum in Seattle. It's the middle of January, but there's a lot going on here in the Winter Garden, and I wanted to show you one of my favorite plants. I'm standing right here amidst a patch of Sarcococca, or sweet box. I use Sarcococca all the time in my clients' gardens. I really rely on it. It's quite a workhorse of a plant. It's very shade tolerant and drought tolerant, and it has glossy evergreen leaves that look great year-round. At this time of year, when the rest of the garden is quite quiet, Sarcococca really comes to life. It blooms with tiny white flowers that you can hardly see. They're so inconspicuous, but they smell phenomenal. The vanilla honey fragrance really emanates far from the plant, especially when you get the rare sunny day. You can also really enjoy it when you cut the blossoms and bring them inside, because when they come into the warm house, the fragrance really releases and smells fabulous. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a garden or on a walk and smelled something wonderful and started looking around for some beautiful showy flower, and I can't figure out what smells so good, and I discover that it's a Sarcococca hidden off in some hidden corner of the garden. The one I'm standing next to now is Sarcococca hookeriana variety humilis. It grows a little differently than the other Sarcococcas because it forms a real thicket of plants instead of growing as a single shrub. It has a narrow leaf and it stays a little bit smaller than the other Sarcococcas. This one has the most hidden of all the flowers, and it just smells absolutely wonderful. It's super tough. You can see here we're standing underneath a very large cedar tree, and this can be one of the most difficult conditions to garden in, and yet this Sarcococca is very full and lush and looks terrific. Another one of my favorite varieties is Sarcococca ruscifolia. This plant grows more as a single shrub rather than a thicket like hookeriana, and it grows a little bit taller with a more open, loose habit. Sometimes when it's planted in front of a wall or a fence, it will almost espalier naturally, and the branches will fan out and cover the wall in a really beautiful way. Probably my favorite Sarcococca to use in my clients' gardens is this one. This is Sarcococca confusa. I like it the best because of its really dense, tidy habit, and these glossy evergreen leaves tend to look great year-round. It's a great screening plant, and it stays nice and compact at about 3 feet high and 3 feet wide. It tends to have the largest of the flowers. These blossoms are a little bit less inconspicuous than the others, and then in the summer it gets a black berry on it, which is probably the easiest way to tell it apart from Sarcococca ruscifolia, which gets a red berry. I've really come to rely on these Sarcococcas for a lot of the gardens that I design. It's a workhorse plant that works great in a variety of situations, and I love the little bonus of the winter fragrance. I'm Susan Papanicholas from How Does Your Garden Grow, helping you make the most of your garden.